1,
2, 3, 4, 5,
Many of us mark time like this,
8.
but the universe does it like this.
The universe is about 13.7 billion years old. The Earth is about a little bit more than 4 billion years old. Humans, as we are modern today, have only been around for maybe a couple 100,000 years. So that's a blink of an eye.
Eric O'Day of the Museum of Science knows how difficult it is to put time in perspective.
Once you go past human lifetimes, it's just, that sounds like a really long time.
So let's take it back to this.
34.
35,
36.
The science of aging is moving so quickly that even without any major breakthroughs, children born today will live to 104. There really is no maximum limit to human lifespan, at least I don't believe so. And so it may be possible that there are children alive today that could make it to 130, 140, and who knows.
Harvard professor David Sinclair is one of Time magazine's Healthcare 50 and is also listed in this issue. Like Beyoncé, he's become a rock star of the anti-aging scene.
The aging field does have a problem with PR in that people have grown up thinking that this is something that's inevitable. We take it for granted. I think that we can treat aging like any other condition that causes harm. And in fact, we can do something about it.
Sinclair's optimism stems from his discovery of a molecule that accelerates blood flow, essentially turning back the clock in aging mice.
So these old mice can now beat the young mice at exercise. But there are other aspects, such as protection from heart disease and cancer and even dementia, that we're very excited about being able to translate those findings into human trials and eventually medicines.
Though the future may be bright, today 10% of Americans over the age of 65 suffer from Alzheimer's dementia. It's a terrifying statistic, but local photographer Joe Wallace has moved beyond the numbers to see the larger picture.
There's a narrative about Alzheimer's and dementia that is decidedly negative, and I want to change that.
In Wallace's powerful exhibit, Beginning at the End, Portraits of Dementia, what immediately jumps out is pride and confidence, not the traditional portrait of dementia.
I wanted to tell the story in a more positive way, to give people hope about aging and that access to your memory does not define you.
To do that, Wallace had to step outside of his comfort zone.
And when I first started the project, I was shooting white people like me, because those are the people that I had the most access to. And I knew that that wasn't going to cut it. The disease affects everyone.
Each portrait is accompanied by text about the subject and a second photo.
I wanted to juxtapose a current portrait with a portrait from their youth, say usually between 18 and 25 years old, because I'm trying to get people to see the person and their lifetime of experience, not just their diagnosis.
Giving equal weight to completely different points of time is an artistic decision by Wallace, but one that is literally supported by science. MIT professor Brad Scow explains the block theory of time.
The future is a place just like Australia. Australia is far away spatially, and the future is also far away temporally. So if you take a ball, you have to take into account not just its spherical spatial shape, but its temporal extent, the way it's spread out in time.
In this theory, no one point in time holds more value than another. Likewise, with Wallace's subjects, dementia is just one chapter in a longer story.
So people don't just see the diagnosis, they see a person as a continuum. You don't need to stop telling the story just because you've only got 2 chapters left. That might be the best part.